He went from being a standout here at the College of Charleston to being drafted by the major leagues to working under Ray Tanner. But these days, Monte Lee is in a league of his own. I had a chance to talk with him for the special edition of Quintin's Post-Ups. Well, Coach, you know, you left me a voicemail message last week indicating that you're on the road recruiting. Tell me, how's that going?
It's going well. It's going well. You know, this is a time of year for college coaches to get out on the road and try to evaluate rising seniors and rising juniors for the 2014 graduates and the 2015 graduates. And we're trying to identify our needs for the upcoming recruiting classes. We're losing, you know, our senior class and also potentially losing some juniors to the Major League Baseball draft. So we're always trying to find the right fits for our program, and that's what I've been doing since the season ended. I've been on the road for about 2 weeks.
So it is 2013, that is. And if I'm right, you just completed your season here.
Right.
5th season, I should say.
Right.
As a head baseball coach here at College of Charleston. Tell me, how's that going?
It's going good. It's going good. You know, it's a dream come true for me to be able to coach at my alma mater. I played baseball here and received my degree from the College of Charleston. And it's been 5 years already. It's flown by, but I love working at the College of Charleston. I love working in the athletic department and love living here. So it doesn't get much better than living and working here in Charleston.
And take me back to the day before the 4th of July in 2008 when you were named the head men's baseball coach here at the College of Charleston. As you mentioned, you're from here, you're an alumni. But tell me, how overwhelming was that?
It happened really fast, so it was pretty overwhelming. I was actually on a recruiting trip. I was an assistant coach at the University of South Carolina, and I was on a recruiting trip in Virginia, recruiting for South Carolina when I heard that Coach Pulowski, who was the head baseball coach before me, was offered the job at Auburn and had accepted a job at Auburn. So actually, I received a phone call on Monday to come interview for the job, and I believe it was on Wednesday or Thursday I came down and interviewed and was offered the position just a couple days after that. So it was a whirlwind. It happened really fast, and it was a very exciting time in my life, especially for someone my age. I was only 31 at the time, so it was exciting and humbling at the same time, but very grateful for the opportunity that Joe Hall's given me to be the head coach here.
And you spent 6 seasons at the University of South Carolina as an assistant coach and then later the recruitment coordinator. Tell me, I have to ask this, what brought you back here home?
I think just the opportunity to be a head coach at my alma mater. My goal always, when I got into coaching, was to be a head coach. I always wanted to be a head baseball coach, so I didn't think it would happen as early as it did. But that was always my goal, so I think that was when I got the opportunity to move up from an assistant coach to a head coach, especially at my alma mater. It was something very special and something that I could not turn down. So I was very blessed and excited about that opportunity.
And it was at USC when you worked under Ray Tanner. I'm thinking, was he like a father figure to you?
He was definitely a father figure, role model for me. He was. I learned an awful lot from Coach Tanner, and I actually learned an awful lot from my first boss, Tim Wallace, who was the head baseball coach at Spartanburg Methodist Junior College, who's a legend in his own right. So I've been pretty fortunate. I've worked for 2 guys that were very, very successful, coached at the highest levels in junior college and Division I baseball. But yeah, Coach Tanner was definitely a father figure role model to me. I learned an awful lot from him. A lot of the things that I do with our program from a coaching perspective are the exact same things that Coach Tanner did while he was the head baseball coach at South Carolina. So yeah, I learned an awful lot from him and the assistant coaches that I worked with at South Carolina.
You know, I want to take you back to your time here at the College of Charleston, which hasn't been that long. But you have posted a remarkable record, 156.85, with eventual trips to the NCAA tournament, and just last year, the Southern Conference Regional Season Championship. You know, did you ever think for a moment that how could you accomplish all of this in such little time?
I think coaching I think it's a process. I don't know if our goal here at the College of Charleston is to win our conference championship every year, to play in the NCAA postseason with a chance to play in the College World Series. I mean, that's our goal. So I really don't ever sit back and look at what we've accomplished, to be honest with you. We're always trying to move forward and trying to get better and better every year. I think that's the key, is look at the areas that you need to improve upon in your program and continue to strive for them. Until we get to Omaha, I'm not going to feel like we've accomplished our goal.
Okay.
So I'm hungry to continue to make our program better and better, and hopefully we can do that at some point while I'm here.
You will. Let's rewind time to your time here as a college student, a baseball student. I read too that you were one of the 5 Cougars who actually got 3 home runners in a game.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask this too. Who was Monte Lee as a baseball player?
Monte Lee is a baseball player. I was a blue-collar baseball player. I was a hard-nosed, hard-working, intense player. I had to work for everything that I earned as a baseball player. I had some talent and some ability, but I really worked extremely hard to attain my goals as a player. And I try to coach my players probably the way that I would want to be coached.
Yeah.
I worked extremely hard in the weight room. I trained really hard. Worked a lot by myself before practice and after practice. Tried to play the game the right way. I was very coachable, very intense, hard-nosed player. That was very competitive. So I try to instill those qualities in my players, and also some of the mistakes that I made as a player. Try to coach my guys the way that I'd want to be coached. So I would say that was the type of player I was. I competed as hard as I possibly could.
And let's talk about your success after the College of Charleston. You were drafted by the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was fortunate to be able to continue my career past the College of Charleston. I played in the Cardinals organization, and then later played in the Rangers organization,
Right.
and learned a lot, learned an awful lot as a player in playing in professional baseball. A lot of things I learned there helped me in my coaching as well. So that was a great experience too, to play at the professional level, to meet guys from all across the country and from the Dominican and Venezuela, and just to play at the professional level. It was a blessing for me, and one that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
And you know, I got to go back again to the College of Charleston. But we know that you were a great standout and you were a great baseball player. But let's talk about academics. Who was Monte Lee as a college student?
Well, again, I was a guy that really had to work at it. I was a very good student here at the College of Charleston, and a lot of that just came from hard work. You know, I was the student athlete that never missed a class. I made it to every single class. I studied every night, worked extremely hard to prepare for tests. I was never a procrastinator. I didn't do things at the last minute. I always tried to plan ahead and work very hard to attain my goals as a student as well. It's very important for me to make good grades in college, and I did that, but it just all came from hard work, just believing in myself and working as hard as I possibly could have.
And right after college, you actually signed on as an assistant at the Spartanburg Junior College, which you
Yep.
mentioned earlier. Talk to me about going back home.
Well, you know, the opportunity to play or to coach at Spartanburg Methodist, it was a great place to start my coaching career. The assistant coach there at the time was a guy that I had played with here at the College of Charleston, so he encouraged me to come and be their assistant coach and their hitting coach. And to get started in my coaching career working for a man like Tim Wallace, who is a legend in his own right, I learned an awful lot those first 2 years on how to coach players, how to run practices efficiently, in-game management. I learned a lot from him. And our assistant coach at the time, Austin Alexander, was a relentless recruiter. I learned a lot about how to recruit from Austin, and I think it prepared me for moving up to South Carolina as an assistant, very much so. And as you can tell with our roster over the last few years, we sign a lot of players from Spartanburg Methodist. They're very well coached, they know how to win, and they're the right kind of kids when they get to our level. So I appreciate that relationship, and I appreciated my time at Spartanburg.
And even before the success here at the College of Charleston, it was Lugoff-Elgin High School.
Yes. Lugoff is a very dear place to me. I was a part of the state championship there in 1993. We had a very successful high school baseball program while I was there, and I learned a lot. My coach is still there. Randy Stokes is still at Lugoff-Elgin High School, and he he's an awesome human being, somebody that I stay in touch with and talk to a lot. And I learned a lot from Randy and a lot from the program at Lugoff-Elgin, and I try to go back home and watch it play when I can. And we've actually signed we signed a player out of Lugoff-Elgin, got a kid in our program now from back home, and they've always got a number of talented baseball players and well-coached players.
And I read, too, that you actually played football for 2 seasons.
I did. In fact, I would have continued to play. I injured my shoulder and couldn't play football my last year. Yeah, I did, and I love football. I like football, and I like to recruit baseball players that played football just because of the physical nature of the game of football, and they're usually a little tougher mentally and physically.
Yes.
So I've always been a high school and college football fan.
That's awesome. Well, finish these sentences for me. Baseball is?
Baseball is a game of failure. It's a game of failure that's going to challenge you physically and mentally. And the better you're able to handle failure as a baseball player, the better you're going to be in the long run. So it's a game of failure that takes it takes someone who's very strong mentally to be able to play the game at a high level.
The College of Charleston is?
College of Charleston is one of the greatest places on earth to get a degree and go to school. I don't know if there's a better place that you can possibly go to experience your time in college than the College of Charleston.
Monte Lee is?
Monte Lee is a work in progress. He's a hard worker that's going to give everything he can to the College of Charleston Athletic Department and the College of Charleston to represent it the right way, to coach the student athletes to play in his program the right way. Everything that I do as a person is going to be to put the College of Charleston first, to represent the school and the athletic department the right way.
Well, let's fast forward and talk about your family and your wife. I'm wondering, how did you two meet?
Well, we met here. We met here at the College of Charleston. She was a former, she was the Cougarettes coach. She coached the dance team here at the College of Charleston. Yeah. So we actually met a couple years ago. Well, I guess it's been 3 years ago now. We just happened to meet through a mutual friend, and our relationship started from there. We hit it off, obviously, really well, and we were married, golly, I guess a little over a year after that. So yeah, I met Aaron here, and Aaron is obviously a big part of my life with as much time as I have to spend running our program and coaching our team and on the road recruiting. She just does a tremendous job of supporting me and supporting our children. She's a huge part of my life and a huge part of what I'm able to accomplish as a baseball coach and as a person.
And speaking of the kids, for those who don't know them, describe them.
Well, I have 2 children, and Aaron had 2 children. We have 4 children together. Madeline is my oldest daughter. She's going to be a senior in high school. Shelby is my younger daughter. She's going into 9th grade. And Aaron has 2 daughters, Blair and Alexa. Blair is going into high school. She's Blair and Shelby, my youngest daughter, are the same age.
Okay.
So they take the same classes in school and have the same group of friends. And Alexa's the youngest. Alexa's going into 4th grade, and they get along great.
That is awesome.
They get along great. They work together and play together and have a lot of fun together. So it's been a blessing for me, and I'm very appreciative of the family I have.
And I can't let you go without me asking you about your next chapter. But when you look into your crystal ball, what do you see?
I'll be honest with you, the only thing that I ever really worry about is trying to be 100% committed to the College of Charleston.
Yeah.
That's really it. I don't worry about anything but that. I think I have a responsibility. Joe Hull gave me an opportunity to be the head baseball coach here, and it's my responsibility to do everything I can to run the program to the best of my ability. And that's really my focus. I just focus all my energy and efforts on that.
But Monte Lee, it was so great talking to you.
Thank you very much.